we're asked to reduce this fraction. And as you may have noticed, so to reduce or simplify this fraction, as you may have noticed, there are decimals in the numerator and denominator of this fraction. So we're dealing with a decimals in fractions question. Whenever you're dealing with this type of question, whenever you have to solve something like this, there's a very helpful strategy to keep in mind. The strategy is as follows. What you want to do is you want to get rid of the decimals and just deal with integers because it's easier to simplify integers. And you get rid of the decimals by moving the decimals to the right. So what you want to do is you move the decimals to the right the same amount of times on the top and bottom. Essentially what you're doing is you're just balancing out the top and the bottom and moving the decimals to the right. So to give you an example with this, or let's work through this example over here. What we have is 0.0024 times 4.2 divided by 0.04 times 0.4 times 0.002. So we have decimals in this fraction. We want to get rid of them. Let's start with the top. I'm going to take this decimal, I'm going to move it to the right once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So I've moved it a total of 4 times, and I'll keep track of that. Normally I keep track of it mentally. And then there's a decimal in the second number as well on the top, so we'll move that to the right as well. And we've moved the decimals on top 5 times. What we're left with is 24 times 42 because we've moved the decimals to the right 5 times. 4 for this number, once for this number. Now in the denominator, what we'll do is we'll move the decimals. So starting with 0.04, move that twice to get 4. Move this once to get another 4. And then move this, so we do that twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. But by doing that, we still have 0.2. So what we have to do is we have to move it one more time to get the 2. And now we're not balanced anywhere. We've moved the decimals on the bottom 6 times, but on the top 5 times. So what to do? Well, very simply, go back to the top and let's, the decimal is not here at the end of 42, and move it to the right one more time. This creates an empty space. Whenever you have an empty space, fill it with 0. We've now moved the decimals on the top and bottom. That's well, make that a little bit nicer. That's 6. We move the decimal on the top 6 times, the decimal on the bottom 6 times. They're balanced out, and what we get is 24 times 420 over 4 times 4 times 2. We then reduce, this is going to be 6, reduce this again, that's a 3, and 4 into 420, 4 goes into 400, 100 times, and into 25 times, so this is 105. So what we have here is 3 times 105, or 315. By getting rid of the decimals, by moving them to the right the same number of times on the top and bottom, we got a fraction that was much easier to simplify. It was just integers. And then by simplifying, we see that the answer is 315. Whoops, that's the wrong one. That the answer is 315, or E.